One of many American elected leaders in Congress over decades to visit Taiwan. She's not the first Speaker of the House of Representatives to visit. It did escalate tensions with China, but one of the things I've emphasized, and so have many others, is that our one China policy has not changed, and the core commitments made in the Taiwan Relations Act have not changed.
Well, I agree with you. I know you got to stand up strong. The fact that they can't get on the same page with the Speaker and the President. It's not Trump and Pelosi. This is Biden and Pelosi. The fact that she's doing it, the fact that the President says the Pentagon doesn't want her to go, and the Pentagon says, no, I never said that. Really? This looks like the Keystone Cops. And Senator Lindsey Graham had a great line. He says it gives a bad name to the Keystone Cops. Congressman Buddy Carter's with us out of that key state of Georgia. You're the new Florida when it comes to this election. I was able to spend a day with Herschel Walker. I think he's dramatically underestimated. He's taken out Raphael Warnock, who pulled off a big upset in beating Kelly Stauffer in your state. Your reaction to what happened in 2020, and what do you think the chances are of Herschel, who's within the margin of error according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on the last poll, against Warnock?
Well, what happened in 2020 is our voters didn't get out, and I hope we learned an important lesson there, that we have to get out. It is extremely important, and I think that we have learned that lesson, and we will turn our voters out. If you look at this primary that we just finished, we had the largest turnout we've ever had, in which it tells you two things. First of all, we learned our lesson. Secondly, the Election Integrity Act that was passed by the Georgia legislature actually gave people more confidence that we are.
You mean Jim Crow 2.0?
Yeah, right. Let me tell you, the Election Integrity Act was the best thing that this legislature has done.
Do you think they were smart to do it behind closed doors? Do you think they should have just been more out with it in terms of the presentation?
Perhaps, hindsight's always 20/20. That could have been the case, but at the same time, I think it gave people the confidence that we need to do that. And yes, you are right. I think Herschel's going to be fine. Herschel's a personal friend. I endorsed Herschel early on, and one of the first ones to endorse him, as a matter of fact. And Herschel has surrounded himself with good people. He's listening to them, and I think he's going to be our next senator.
So I think that any military person is extremely gratified and look forward to voting for him, because he's been to over 400 bases throughout his career as a player and beyond, just as a citizen. Number two, law enforcement loves him. Yes. Because he is very intimate friends with some of the leaders in law enforcement, and they know he's spoken with them and done him many favors because he really feels it. I've seen it. But what he has to do, and I'm kind of surprised, he grew up in a working class African-American area. His dad was worked in a chalk factory. Mm-hmm. His mom also had a job. He had a big family, very little money, and he understands what it's like to farm. His dad was a farmer, but yet he only has 15% of the black vote. Why? And I know other Republicans can still win with that, but Herschel doesn't have to. How does he get his message to the black community?
Well, I think Herschel is an example of someone who has, as you indicated, pulled himself up from the bootstraps and has really done exceptionally well. He's born in the same area my dad was born in, and I feel a special affinity to him because of that. And I will tell you, Herschel Walker has a heart of gold. He truly does care. And that's what's going to set him apart from Raphael Warnock. How a minister, any minister, can support abortion is beyond me.
Right, and he is at Martin Luther King's church, and when they go to the debate, they did agree to a debate on October 14th. On the governor's race, I had a chance when I was with Herschel Walker, and I'll have that part 2 of that feature on One Nation on Saturday night at 8 and 11. But I also had a chance to see Stacey Abrams, who spoke before Herschel. Very talented,
yes,
extremely good speaker, good personal story, but really struggles in front of law enforcement because I don't think she believes in them. I think she believes they're the problem.
She does. I served with Stacey in the State House. It is not the same Stacey Abrams that I served with 15 years ago.
She's trailing by about 2 points.
She is, and there are a number of reasons for that. First of all, her profile and her beliefs are turning voters off. However, I will say that Brian Kemp has done an excellent job as governor, and he deserves to be reelected. And I think the people of Georgia recognize that now.
If she wins, she'll run for president almost immediately.
Absolutely.
Right. So all eyes are in Georgia. Can you handle the pressure?
Oh, yeah.
How much would you like to be in the majority in the House? How much different is that than being in the minority?
Well, I can tell you, I've been in both. I've been in the majority and in minority, and the minority stinks, and because you don't control the agenda, and that's the key. You got to be able to control the agenda.
Right, and it looks like almost everybody's saying you'll take it, and you'll look at what chairmanship are you going for?
I'm running for budget chair, which, as I said earlier, I think the two greatest challenges in our country are China and our debt. As a father, as a